Today, I will show you how to turn this Disgrace into unlimited wealth. In this video, we'll look at some hints, tips and background into The Defender of the Crown, the 1986 runaway success by Cinemaware. Originally created on the Amiga, it was then ported to the Commodore 64 in 1987. The full catalogue of Cinemaware games is as follows. There was Defender of the Crown in 1986, SDI in 1986, King of Chicago in 1987, Sinbad and the Throne of the Falcon in 1987, The Three Stooges in 1987, Rocket Ranger in 1988, Lords of the Rising Sun in 1988. Then Cinemaware started doing sports simulations like TV Sports Football in 1988. It came from the desert in 1989. In 1989, TV Sports Basketball, The Crystal, that is with a K, in 1989. TV Sports Baseball, part of that series, in 1989. Antheads, which was It Came from the Desert, Part 2, was released in 1990. In 1990, they also released Wings, and they finished with TV Sports Boxing in 1991. And then unfortunately, Cinemaware then went out of business. So if you're one of the few people that haven't actually played Defender of the Crown yet, what's it all about? Let's have a look. King Lionheart is dead and civil war has broken out across England. The year 1199 AD. In the game, you get to choose to be one of the Anglo-Saxon leaders, and you need to reunite the country before the Norman lords take over it. Initially, your fellow Saxon lords won't cause you any trouble, but eventually they'll turn on you. Next, you need to choose your character. Wilfred of Ivanhoe is your perfect all-round character. If you're just a beginner, this is the best one to go for. He's pretty good at everything. Cedric of Rotherwood. If you want an advantage in jousting, which is the hardest event of all, go for Cedric. Geoffrey Longsword. If you want an advantage when you're raiding castles or rescuing maidens, choose Geoffrey Longsword. If you're an advanced player of Defender of the Crown, choose Wulfric the Wild. It gives you a disadvantage in every category, and this makes the game a lot harder to play. But if that's what you want, if you want to have more of a challenge, go for him. But I'm going to go for Wilfred of Ivanhoe. He's my favourite character. What's your favourite character on Defender of the Crown? Let me know in the comments below. At this stage of the game, you're prompted to change to side B of your game disk. If you have a Commodore 64 and a 1541 disk drive, this is pretty straightforward. But if you have the C64 and you're new to the C64 scene, here's what to do when you need to change your game to a side B of your disk. First of all, press the menu button on your joystick and choose Media Access. Now scroll up or down to find the side B of the game that you're playing. Press Fire to load this file into your virtual disk drive. Now usually you'd want to load a game by pressing the load button on your joystick, but don't do that this time. The file is ready to run in your disk drive, so all you need to do is go back to the game by pressing your menu button. Now back in the game, just press Fire and this loads the next disk. Very simple. England is divided into 19 territories. You rule one of them, which is marked by the black horse. The Saxons on the map are marked with shields. The Normans are marked with flags. The forest is very important, as this is the home for Robin Hood, it's Sherwood Forest. You can use Robin Hood 3 times in the game to raid castles. How to use Robin? Go up to the Go Raiding option on your menu. Before choosing a castle to raid, click on Sherwood Forest. Now you can choose a castle, and here is your strength with Robin's help. And here's your strength bar without Robin's help. 3 times you can use Robin to strengthen your raiding party. Raiding is my favourite scenario. The ambience is amazing, especially for 1987. If you didn't think this was amazing back in 1987, you weren't playing Defender of the Crown. The best way to defeat this soldier is and this next soldier as well, is attack them when they have their swords facing upwards. This leaves them open to attack. The same strategy applies of course for the second soldier, but another way to defeat the soldier quickly is force them to the top of the stairs and then start pulling back while attacking, and this actually diminishes his power or strength bar more than yours. Well, usually. And after you've diminished his strength to 0, just push him back to the top of the stairs, he collapses, and then you get to reap the rewards of your raid. On the map legend or menu, the top option is Tournament. We'll come back to that in a few minutes because, as you'll see, it's important to go through a few different steps to be able to gain unlimited wealth on the Defender of the Crown. The second option is Conquest. This is how you conquer land. First you need to move soldiers into your army. And then if you move your army into an adjacent land, it becomes yours. If you're unaware of the land values or how to find the value of each land to see which one to conquer, all you need to do is go to Read Map and then move the cursor over the land you're interested in. This is a good way to maximize your income, to make sure you target the land with the best income. Next you need to continue to build your army. To be able to attack castles, you need to have a catapult. And this is where the unlimited wealth all starts. When you've built up a decent army, you can attack a castle. You're particularly interested in home castles. When you attack a Norman castle, it looks like this. A Saxon castle looks like this. The strategy for both castles to defeat them is the same. Both Norman and Saxon use your catapult to breach the wall. Pull back the catapult basket so it's in line with this horizontal bar. Then let go. Easy peasy. The next step you need to do is use the diseased bodies and send them over the wall, pulling back a little bit less this time so that it doesn't go too far. The earlier you use disease, the more effective it will be. Next you need to use Greek fire, and this will slowly pick off more soldiers. If you pull back too far on your catapult, it'll go too far and you waste your projectile. And it sounds like this. You notice you have a few days left of your siege and a few boulders left. The more you damage the wall, the more you decrease the enemy's defensive bonus. Now the castle is yours. So now the castle is yours, what do you do? Well, of course you throw a tournament. And now let's get rich. Tournament jousting is the hardest to win, and I'll show you soon how you can win a joust. But first of all, I'm going to show you how to lose a joust big time so you can become very rich. We don't want to win this joust, we want to lose it horribly in Disgrace. And this is very easy to do. And usually you can do this without even trying. All you need to do is to take out the opponent's horse. And you should be able to get disgraced and thrown out of the tournament. Now you've noticed that all of your land has been stripped from you. Your initial thought is to scramble and resecure your lost land, but don't do that. Instead, go raiding. Go raid now one of your lost home castles. The first guard is pretty normal, just take him out like usual. But notice on the second guard here, he has no power bar. All you need to do is push him to the top of the stairs. Voila, unlimited gold. Now when we check our gold reserves, there seems to be no change, so what's going on? It's not until you go to Buy Army, you'll notice the change. Wait a minute, there's still no money there. What's the story? Start buying. Unlimited wealth. Now you can buy as much as you want. Your treasury just continually replenishes itself. But I'll just finally finish off with just showing how to do Conquest and what the different modes of Conquest actually mean. If you go to a land and try to occupy it, and it's already been occupied by an opposing army, then you go into this Conquest battle mode. Or if you're occupying land and another army attacks you, it goes into this battle mode. There's 5 options to use in this battle arena. Ferocious attack. Now you want to use this if you have more knights than your opponent. Stand and fight is the default attack mode with soldiers out the front and knights and catapults behind to be protected. Bombard. Use this if you have a good number of catapults. 1 catapult is the equivalent to 16 soldiers. So if you have catapults, use them. Outflank. You can use this if you have higher leadership than your opponent. This will give you a tactical bonus. And of course then you have retreat. This outflank, how do you know if you've got a higher leadership? Well, here's the chart, shows you everyone's leadership skills. Everything you need to know really is right here on this chart. Of course there's even more in the Defender of the Crown, but hopefully this gives you a bit of an overview of how to play the game. If you came here just to check out that bug, hopefully this explained how to activate that as well. If you want to check out a really interesting website article by Jimmy Wilhelmson, he's made a really good, thoroughly researched article for the artwork for the cover of the Defender of the Crown. Check it out, it's definitely worthwhile. And also there's a link in the description to his YouTube video. He uncovers more from the Defender of the Crown. Hey, thanks for watching everybody. Thanks for your continued support, and we'll see you next time. As your warhorses race towards each other, to win the joust, all you have to do is center your lance to the center of the opponent's shield, and at the right moment, press the fire button. As simple as that.